By 2026, the software market abandoned the valuation models of the 2021 liquidity peak. The era of high multiple funding ended, replaced by a mandate for capital efficiency. Venture boards use two distinct scorecards. The 2021 model prioritized raw growth. The 2026 efficiency scorecard demands capital discipline. Investors bypass a startup growing at 200% with a 3.0 burn multiple to instead fund a business growing half as fast with a 1.2 burn. Venture capitalists no longer read raw numbers in isolation. They place every startup into a specific data distribution based on its current revenue size to determine its relative health. To survive this environment, founders must adopt a dual scorecard that balances expansion velocity with capital efficiency at every revenue milestone. This requires navigating the paradox of software unit economics. The exact metrics that signal success at $1 million in revenue will destroy a company at $50 million. Growth expectations naturally decay as revenue increases. A startup at $1 million is expected to hit 150% growth, but that target drops to 25% once the company reaches $50 million. We divide this trajectory into 4 phases: survival, scaling, efficiency, and compounding. Applying the wrong stages benchmark creates a dangerous distortion. Growing 30% at $2 million is an underperformance that signals a lack of market fit, but that same 30% at $40 million puts a company in the top quartile. Scaling a software business is a series of distinct phase shifts, where the financial rules change at each revenue threshold. From $0 to $1 million, a company is in the survival stage. The primary focus is proving product-market fit. In this initial phase, year-over-year metrics are irrelevant. The only trajectory metric that matters is month-over-month recurring revenue growth. Venture-backed startups target the T23 framework, tripling revenue for 2 years, then doubling it for the following 3. Tripling revenue in a single year requires a specific mathematical velocity. You have to sustain 11.6% month-over-month growth for 12 consecutive months. Maintaining this speed often requires a high tolerance for customer churn. Losing 5% of your customer base every month is a common trade-off for rapid iteration. At this stage, optimizing for efficiency prematurely can be fatal. The goal is securing explosive velocity before the runway expires. Between $1 and $10 million, the company enters the scaling stage, where Series A boards begin to enforce strict performance benchmarks. This 2026 benchmark table shows that top quartile performers are expected to sustain year-over-year growth of at least 150%. Sustaining that speed introduces the first major capital constraint, the customer acquisition cost payback period, which measures how many months it takes to recover the cost of acquiring a new user. Reporting a blended acquisition cost obscures the health of individual sales channels. You must segment payback by channel. A 24-month blended average might hide an efficient 10-month product-led motion behind an outbound strategy taking 3 years to pay for itself. Healthy scaling at Series A requires a top quartile payback target of under 12 months. Crossing $10 million requires proving that your acquisition model is repeatable without outspending your future revenue. In the efficiency stage, between $10 and $50 million, top-line growth naturally slows to a range of 50 to 80%. At this revenue size, board conversations move from raw speed to the underlying efficiency of every dollar spent. The primary governing metric is now the burn multiple. Your burn multiple is net cash burn divided by net new recurring revenue. Burning $1 to add $1 of revenue yields a 1.0 multiplier. Burning $2 for that same growth gives a 2.0 multiple. Market standards for 2026 are clear. A multiple under 0.8 is exceptional, 1.0 is healthy, and anything over 1.5 indicates an inefficient growth engine. In the efficiency stage, capital discipline replaces raw growth as the indicator of long-term viability. Boards also use the SaaS magic number to audit the efficiency of sales and marketing spend. The magic number formula multiplies your quarterly revenue growth by 4, then divides by the prior quarter's sales and marketing spend. A result above 1.0 is highly efficient. Dropping below 0.5 signals a broken go-to-market motion or unsustainable sales cycle. These efficiency benchmarks apply to legacy software giants exactly as they do to early-stage startups. Adobe proved this during its shift to a recurring model. This valley of death graph shows Adobe's transition. Their GAAP earnings nearly disappeared between 2011 and 2014, as they intentionally traded upfront license fees for a long-term recurring revenue engine. Optimizing these core efficiency numbers ensures you are actively building a self-sustaining engine rather than simply buying unprofitable revenue. Past $50 million, a company enters the compounding stage. Growth now depends more on retaining and expanding existing accounts than acquiring new ones. Net revenue retention, or NRR, is the single strongest predictor of long-term dominance at the scale. NRR tracks the dollar value of your existing customer base after factoring in both downgrades and expansion revenue. To calculate it, take your starting monthly revenue, subtract cash loss to cancellations, and add new revenue generated from upselling customers. If expansion revenue outpaces cancellations, you reach negative churn, where the base grows without new logos. A top quartile retention rate of 120. A high-growth company expanding at 60% with a negative 20% cash flow margin lands exactly on this passing threshold. A slower growth, highly profitable company with 20% margins and 20% growth satisfies the exact same test. As revenue scales, brute force growth is replaced by financial engineering. The business matures from a cash-burning startup into an optimized compounding engine. Enduring success requires ruthlessly upgrading your operational framework, moving from the aggressive multipliers of the early stage to the disciplined unit economics of scale.